Today, we are diving deep into the story of the America's true apex predator. And let me tell you, this is so much more than just a big cat. This is an ancient giant slayer, a master of stealth, and the undisputed king of its domain. So let's get into it. Right off the bat, to really understand the jaguar, you have to start with its most incredible feature, its bite. We're talking about one of the most powerful jaws, pound for pound, of any big cat on the planet. And this isn't just for show. This incredible force literally shapes everything about how this predator lives, hunts, and survives. But to really get a handle on the jaguar of today, we've got to go way back. I mean, back to a prehistoric world filled with giants, where this cat first made a name for itself as a legendary hunter. Okay, picture this. 500,000 years ago, jaguars wander into South America for the first time, and they step into a literal land of titans. We're talking giant ground sloths, some as big as elephants, just roaming around. And what does the jaguar do? It doesn't run, it adapts, and it becomes a specialized hunter of these enormous creatures. But then, a brand new, even deadlier predator shows up on the continent. Us, humans. And as early people hunted these giant animals to extinction, the jaguar was forced to make a radical change to its diet. It basically went from feasting on prime rib every night to surviving on tapas, smaller prey like capybaras and caimans. And this change had a massive physical consequence. See, back in its heyday, fueled by a diet of giant prey, the prehistoric jaguar was an absolute beast, weighing up to 200 kilograms. Just try to imagine a cat almost double the size of the biggest jaguars we see today. And today, well, as a direct result of that forced diet change, the modern jaguar is a lot smaller. In some areas where there isn't much large prey, they can weigh as little as 50 kilograms. It's a really stark, incredible example of evolution happening in real time. So, okay, the jaguar shrank, but that definitely didn't make it any less of a killer. Instead, it just refined its biological toolkit, evolving into the ultimate predator for the modern Americas. Let's break down exactly how it gets the job done. The best way to think about them is as the wrestlers of the animal kingdom. They have this stocky, powerful build, incredibly strong legs, and razor-sharp claws. They're not built for long-distance chases. They're designed to get in close, grapple, and just overpower their prey with brute force. And their hunting strategy is this unique and totally lethal three-step process. First, they use that amazing camouflage to stalk silently through the undergrowth. Second, they launch this incredibly powerful, explosive pounce. And third, they deliver their signature move, a bite aimed directly at the skull. Now, unlike lions or tigers that usually go for the neck, the jaguar's immense bite force, we're talking around 700 kilograms of force, allows it to just pierce bone. It can crack open a turtle's shell like a walnut or drive its canine teeth straight through a caiman's armored head, right into the brain. It is brutally, brutally efficient. So how do they get close enough to do that? Well, it all comes down to their coat. Those beautiful rose-shaped spots, called rosettes, are not just for show. They perfectly break up the jaguar's outline in the patchy sunlight of the forest floor, turning it into a living, moving shadow. It's basically the ultimate natural stealth technology. A predator this specialized and this powerful doesn't really need to run in a pack. The jaguar's life is pretty much one of solitude, where it reigns supreme over its own vast territory. Yeah, jaguars live and hunt alone. They patrol these huge territories, leaving behind scent markings and claw marks on trees that are basically no trespassing signs for any rivals. The only real exceptions to this solo lifestyle are for mating and, of course, the incredibly important bond between a mother and her cubs. She'll spend up to 2 years with them, teaching them every single skill they'll need to one day rule their own domain. But even a king can face threats to its kingdom. The jaguar managed to survive the loss of the megafauna, but its greatest challenge is happening right now. And it's a conflict with the one species that completely changed its world once before. To really appreciate the scale of this problem, you have to look at this. The jaguar's historic range was just immense. It stretched from what is now the southwestern United States, all the way through Central America and deep into Argentina. And now, their territory has been slashed. Today, their main strongholds are the dense Amazon rainforest and the massive wetlands of the Pantanal in Brazil. They've essentially been pushed into the wildest, most remote corners of the continents they once roamed freely. And the threats are all interconnected, and they're all driven by us. Their forests are being cleared for farms and cities. This habitat loss pushes them closer to ranches, where they sometimes prey on cattle and are then killed by ranchers in retaliation. And if that wasn't enough, there's still illegal poaching for their beautiful fur and body parts. But the story isn't over. It's not all doom and gloom. Just as the jaguar adapted in the past, humans are now trying to adapt our approach to conservation, searching for a path where both species can actually survive side by side. One of the most important strategies for their survival is all about connectivity. Conservation groups are working to create what are called wildlife corridors. These are basically protected pathways of forest that link isolated jaguar habitats together. These corridors let the animals move around, find mates, and mix their genes, which is absolutely crucial for the long-term health of the entire species. So we've traced the jaguar's incredible story, from a prehistoric giant slayer to a modern-day icon facing new challenges. To wrap it all up, here are 5 key facts that really define this animal's legacy. Fact number 1, it is the undisputed king. The jaguar is, by far, the largest and most powerful big cat in the Americas. It reigns supreme over every other feline on 2 continents. No contest. Number 2, it is all about that bite. Its jaw isn't just strong, it's a highly specialized tool. Seriously, think of it as a biological nutcracker, designed to get through the absolute toughest things on the menu. And the last 3 quick ones. Number 3, its gorgeous coat is actually a super sophisticated tool for camouflage. Number 4, unlike most big cats, it's a master swimmer. It is completely at home in the water. And finally, number 5, as an apex predator, it's a vital ecosystem engineer, keeping the delicate balance of its entire environment in check. And that brings us to the final and most critical question. The jaguar proved, against all odds, that it could evolve and survive the loss of its entire ancient world. But the challenge it faces now is totally different. Its ability to adapt to a world completely dominated by humans, well, that's what will determine its future. And that's a story that we are all writing right now.